All right. So today I'm going to expose to you my personalized approach to literally quit your full-time job, your 9 to 5, and also your part-time job, your 5 to 9, or an extended side hustle that you've been working on unconsciously for a really long period of time that even extends to 6 a.m. in the morning. And we're going to be reflecting back upon your life. We're going to be reflecting upon your life that you cannot do by your own self. And 90 to 99% of all your day's time is owned by someone else. And it's just this 1% that you own for yourself. It's just 1%. 99% of the entire populace of the world just owns 1% of their day. And just this 1% of people across the entire world own 99 to 100% of their entire daylight and nighttime hours. You are in time debt. Forget about capital and financial debt. You are in time debt. You don't have time anymore. Time is money. What do they say? Time is money. You don't have time to make money and escape. And I, Arhab, am one of those 1% of people who does not have a 9 to 5 or doesn't have a 5 to 9 either. Or nor do I even have a side quest or a side hustle that I work on for my entire night, losing my sleep. All right? So I approach to you from a place of higher authority because I have enough authority to own my entire time. I am one of those 1% of people across the entire world who owns 99 to 100% of their day to themselves. I am one of them. I, Arhab, own 99 to 100% of my entire day. I own it. And I can say for a fact that no matter how much money you have, you cannot escape the 9 to 5 that you're inside. Because what you lack is not financial stability. You have capital, okay. You have enough money to live through the month or the year or a decade. That's not enough. You don't have the affordability of time. So that's exactly what we're going to be touching through this video. I'm going to show you how to afford enough time to break free from your 9 to 5. That's what we need. We don't need financial capital. What we need is time. All right? There's a really very big misconception that you need money, you need financial capital in order to escape from a 9 to 5 or a 5 to 9 or this entire 99% of time that is completely jammed and locked in someone else's grasp, in someone else's control, in someone else's company. But what you actually need is the affordability of time. But you are in a complete time debt. You are running not just equal on time, but you are running short on time. You cannot afford to break free until you have the affordability to break free. And the affordability it asks for is not financial. 99% of people in the world, except the 1% who have broken free, the financial and time capital they require to break free and to own 99% of time just like me. But I'm talking about the 99% of populace of the world. So if you want to break free, you must start an online business. But you cannot afford to start an online business, not in terms of financial capital and financial affordability, but I'm talking about time affordability. I'm talking about the currency of time. This is what you need to break free. And that's exactly what I'm going to be showing to you in a personalized perspective. So let's just analyze the 3 kinds of 9 to 5s, all right? There are 3 types of 9 to 5s. The first phase is a physical 9 to 5. The second phase is a mental 9 to 5. And the third phase is a digital 9 to 5. Everybody has a 9 to 5. Let's now first figure out the phase of physical 9 to 5. Or as a kid, you go to school. That's your 9 to 5. Or the second kind of a 9 to 5 inside of physical 9 to 5s is going to college, which is a 9 to 5 again. Or you have an adulthood kind of a 9 to 5. And then when you transition from being a kid to a complete adult through your teenage years, this is the phase where you actually shift into a company, a job, a 9 to 5, like a typical 9 to 5, inside of this physical 9 to 5s. These were the 3 kinds of 9 to 5s inside of physical 9 to 5s. And the second phase of 9 to 5s is a mental 9 to 5. In this phase, in this stage, you are mentally locked. You are mentally into a 9 to 5. You are working as a self-employed person with a completely outdated skill set. All right? So you're mentally inside of a 9 to 5 that doesn't allow you to break free, but you still have to go there or do this task every single day from 9 until 5 in the evening. All right? And the second kind of a person, instead of a mental 9 to 5, is literally to start or stay inside of a business that is completely outdated. Working on an outdated business model as an outdated person in the modern world. Working on businesses and stuff as a self-employed person that doesn't work in the modern world anymore. That's the second kind of a 9 to 5. People say, oh, I don't go to a 9 to 5, but you're still working your ass off from 9 to 5. You are still inside, or worse than a 9 to 5. Self-employed business owners who have outdated business skills as a self-employed person and outdated business model that doesn't work in the modern world anymore. That's more hurting and harming than a typical kind of a 9 to 5. And the third stage or phase of a 9 to 5 is a digital 9 to 5. Now, even if you are a nobody, you're still going to a 9 to 5. Even if you don't want to go to a job, even if you don't want to have a business, you're still working inside of a 9 to 5. You admit to serve and service through these physical and mental 9 to 5s. You admit to work, all right? You have intentionally accepted the offer to give your work, to give your time, to give your conscious hours, your daylight hours, that are the most productive times of your life and of your day, to someone else. You've admitted the fact. So in the first and the second phase of a physical and a mental 9 to 5, you have accepted and intentionally given. You have literally accepted the offer to intentionally give your time to this job, to your school, to this business, whatever that is. But in a digital 9 to 5, you are hired regardless. You are hired from the top-notch companies of the world to consume their content. When you go to a physical or a mental 9 to 5, you are an asset to the company that you're working in. You make money, regardless if they lose a sale, regardless if they make a sale. You are an asset to the company and you are making progress inside of that company that generates cash flow. All right? So you are an asset to the company. But in a digital 9 to 5, where you don't have a job, which is the worst ones of the 9 to 5, you're working far more than a typical or a traditional 9 to 5. All right? In this 9 to 5, you are hired by the top-notch social platforms of the world as a full-time job and then also as a part-time job every single day, or even as a side hustle without any contract, without getting paid for. But you're being paid in dopamine, a result or a shift in chemical that happens inside of your brain. And that's the only result you want because it's the most pleasurable of results in this modern world. After the 9 to 5, you have a 5 to 9. You have a part-time job, all right? You've been working on a part-time job, which is to give all your time, regardless if you are a job-going person, college-going person, school-going person, as a physical 9 to 5, or instead of a mental 9 to 5 where you are working on your own business, working by yourself. So what's really happening as a physical and a mental 9 to 5 going person, you are working a part-time job. It's true even if you are a digital 9 to 5 goer. Even if you work at a digital 9 to 5, which is to consume content for other companies to create money from your views, you are still going to have a part-time job or a side hustle. So this is happening with you no matter where you live in the world, what you work on, or what kind of person you are. Now I want to take you back to the second point that I made, which was you just own 1% to 10% of your time. 90 to 99% of your time is owned by someone else, all right? But you still have 1 to 10% of your time. So how can you timely afford to break free from this loop of 9 to 5 and 5 to 9? And you've been working so hard without any results, without little to no results at all. Without expecting results, you cannot actually get the results that you want. So with this 1%, with this 10%, depending on your times, depending on your routine, and depending on your situation specific and personalized situation, you still have 1 to 10% of your time left to your own self to decide if you can break free. This is enough. This is actually enough to break free from this loop forever. You just need time to afford to break free from your 9 to 5 and hack back the entirety of your time, your day's time. 99.9%, 99 to 100% of your time can be hacked back if you just have 1%, if you just have 10% left. So what you do in this 1 to 10% matters a lot. So this 1 to 10% doesn't come easy. It's still hard. It's simple, but it's still not easy. So you need to stay late an hour later than usual and work on this thing, or you need to wake up an hour earlier than you wake up to go to your work every single day for the rest of your time that you've got left in your lifeline. Now, how do you do this? You do this by actually doing it. You need to make an hour, and this 1 hour is the only chance you have to break free. But not just break free. This is the only 1 hour, 1% chance that you have to hack back the entire day. 99 to 100% of your day can be hacked back, just like I've done it myself, by consciously going through this 1 hour protocol. I call this the triple P framework. These are the 3 P's you're going to be following and acting upon, splitting your 1 hour that you get every single day by actually waking up or actually staying awake. And with this triple P framework, you literally analyze and set up your dream life. You first need to go through social media, go through all of the internet, consciously to analyze what your dream life looks like. You first need to have an idea of the dream life. You must choose the dream life you want. It's not like some fairy tale stuff. There's already a lifetime. There's already stuff out there that you want, all right? It's not going to be created on the time that you want. It's already there. You just need to choose the things that you want and align them and just compress them into one single dream. You need to analyze your dream life in this 1 hour that you get every single day, before or after your work. Before or after your work, you need to analyze the dream that you want, the dream life that you want, and you need to choose this dream life. You're going to work hard to know what you want before you work for it. The first P is purpose. What purpose you are going to find and analyze, consciously go through the entire internet and go through the entire social media platforms, consciously, not unconsciously, consciously reviewing someone else's life. Many people are living your dream life out there, and I can guarantee that. And I can guarantee, even if it's not 100% true or 100% perfect, it's somewhere around 50%, it's somewhere around 60%. They have your dream life. So all you need to do is analyze what you want out of life, the kind of life that you want. You need to choose what you want and then set up your dream life. Write down all the things that you want out of life. This is the triple P dream work protocol. With this 1 hour that you get, you're going to split it into 3 P's, 20 minutes each. 1 P, which is purpose, is going to get 20 minutes of your time, of your 1 hour's time. And then another P, which is person, is going to get another 20 minutes. And then the last P, which is profit, is going to get another 20 minutes of your time. So the first P, you need to find your purpose. You need to analyze what kind of a dream life you want. And then you need to lock in. You need to set up your dream life inside of your notes app, mentally and digitally, and also visualize it physically. And the second P is to reverse engineer the kind of person that you need to become, the characteristic, the traits, the routines, the systems, the process that you need to run on, and the kind of person that you need to become in order to be able to afford that dream life. All right, you're going to reverse engineer through this 3P protocol, and you're going to become the kind of person that you need to be in order to afford that dream purpose. And then you're going to reverse engineer a step back once more, which is to analyze what work can get you to that dream person. What work can I pursue? And analyze and literally go on to explore and analyze and recognize and rectify the work that is literally going to turn you into the person that you need to be and then lead you into the purpose, that dream that you've set up inside of your head. All right? You're going to reverse engineer these 3 things every single day for the next 1 week. It's going to take a week or so, or maybe more. It doesn't matter. This is the framework you need to even be able to work ahead. Working on a business model, you're going to work on a business model for 3 days straight. On the 4th day, you're going to fall. You cannot afford the discipline, the focus, the consciousness, the work ethic, the thought pattern, the perspective, the perception, and all of it won't allow you to create the kind of work required to, you can't just get blindly into work and expect the life of your dreams. You don't even know what your dream looks like. You don't even know what your dream life looks like. You've never realized what your dream life looks like. You've never actually analyzed the person that you need to become or try to pursue becoming that person, nor have you ever possibly worked on a project or a person, on a project or a product to literally afford the profits required to become that person and the person required and the characteristics required to enter that dream life and purpose. You need to reverse engineer this triple P dream protocol framework. This is how it works. Without this, you're going to get blindly into some random work, blindly into some random stuff and business. You're going to end up somewhere you don't want to. This is a way to align everything perfectly and wake and make the way and work the way you want rather than being worked by someone else they want you to. If you want me to personally guide you and break you through the steps to literally break free from your full-time job, which is your 9 to 5, or your part-time job, which is your 5 to 9, or even side hustles that literally turn into all-nighters, where you're literally being an asset to the company and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling like a scrolling zombie to print money for companies that you aren't even hired from. And I can promise you by the end of this coaching session, you will own 90 to 100%. You will own 99 to 100% of your day's time by making $1,000 in the beginning of this coaching program. I'm going to leave the link in the description below, and those of you who are interested, you know what to do. Tap on the link, apply, and then I'm going to personally guide you. And then I'll walk you through the steps you need to take to practically, digitally, physically, mentally, spiritually break free from this loop that never ends. And don't forget to stay conscious.